Welcome back to the channel, everyone. CryptoTakeOver here, coming back with another Bitcoin cryptocurrency video for you today. We're going over a few news articles, taking a look at the Bitcoin price, see what's going on. Bitcoin sitting right at about $30,800. We are seeing a little bit of a momentum loss, and that's exactly what these articles are possibly going to go over. There hasn't been a lot of big news, I don't think, to say that the markets are give a good sense or narrative for the markets for their sell-off, but we're also going to take a look and see possibly some altcoins that may be ready to rally. Take a look at Ethereum. Bitcoin drops below $30,000, bounces ahead of Fed Reserve rate announcement. So it looks like we have something going on here with the announcement of the dollar and it possibly bouncing too as well. So we'll take a look at that. And then we are over here on Bloomberg. Bitcoin bounces off 30,000 as record momentum fades. Definitely we can tell that the $30,000 is imminent right now, and if we head below that, we'll have to see what's going to go on. So we'll take a look at our charts here in a second. As of right now, we've been holding support above $30,000 relatively nicely, but let's see if that's going to be able to last. So without further ado, let's go ahead and cue that intro and get started. All right, if y'all are brand new to the channel, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell so that we all can be updated every single video that we make in 2021 as the rallies continue, and on our other altcoins too as well. So we're going to take a look and see how bearish Bitcoin might be moving forward. But let's go over these articles first. Bitcoin would likely to extend loss further if Fed Chairman Jerome Powell drops hints of gradual unwinding of stimulus programs later today. Bitcoin and global entities are trading lower while the anti-risk US dollar is climbing ahead of a US Federal Reserve meeting later today that may inject volatility into financial markets. The number one cryptocurrency by market value is trading near 29,500, updated at press time, representing a near 10% drop of the day, according to CoinDesk 20 data. European stocks and futures tied to the S&P 500 are flashing moderate losses. The dollar index, which tracks the greenback's value against major fiat currencies, hovering near 90.4, representing a 0.3% gain. So it does look like the dollar has been gaining a little bit. The Fed Reserve is expected to leave interest rates unchanged near zero and maintain a liquidity boosting bond purchasing plan around 120 billion a month. If so, the status quo decision would be unlikely to elect much of a reaction from the markets, Bitcoin included. However, stocks in Bitcoin would drop and the dollar likely draw bids if Fed Chairman Jerome Powell drops hints of gradual unwinding of stimulus programs. BTC may face selling pressure if Powell signals an early taper. Co-founder and managing partner of Singapore Pace. Consider many hedges against monetary and physical imprudence has moved largely in opposition to the dollar index since March market crashes. Some may anticipate an early exit from stimulus, giving the market-based measures a long-term inflation expectations have recently risen above Fed's 2% target, while U.S. in the global economy is now seen to be recovering at a faster rate. However, most observers, including QCP Capitalist SIT, don't expect Powell to rock the boat. The Fed made it clear in August that it intends to keep interest rates low for some time, even after inflation climbs above 2%. Let's see what they're taking a look at down here. So obviously, stimulus being passed, definitely having effect on the markets, or if they keep the rollout even slower, that's definitely going to have some effect on the market too as well. Bitcoin is currently trading in a 30,000 to 35,000 range, establishing over the past 4 days, having dripped below 29,000 on Friday. Analysts foresee further sell-off of signs and weaker institutional demand. And so here we have a chart that's being drawn out. We are kind of in this consolidation range as of right now, and we are seeing a nice trend line above head over us too as well. Bitcoin has been trading in a tight consolidation for the past 6 days, with several failures to close above 32,500. From a technical analyst point of view, it is consistently making lower highs. The short-term momentum indicates a possible slide to $26,000. So obviously some analysts are calling for lower numbers too as well. We'll take a look at our charts and see what we may have drawn out for us. But let's take a look at our last article here for today. Bitcoin bounces off $30,000 as record momentum fades. Bitcoin briefly dropped below $30,000 for the second time in the past week as the largest cryptocurrency struggles to regain momentum after reaching record highs earlier this month. The digital asset fell as much as 8.7% to 29,200 Wednesday before bouncing back from its lowest levels of the day around 30,700. The last time it traded below 30,000 was January 22nd, 2 weeks after setting a record high of 41,900. The token surged 300% in 2020 amid speculation that institutional investors were piling into interest rates at rock bottom lows. Companies such as MicroStrategy, Square, and crypto miner Marathon Patent Group have added some of their company's cash reserves into Bitcoin amid the rally. The drop is a reminder that Bitcoin is prone to wild swings. Yeah, and I do believe that Michael Saylor for MicroStrategies is going to be implementing some type of thing on his website to tell other companies how to start implementing some of their cash reserves into Bitcoin too as well. So I definitely feel like that could have a big effect on the market moving forward, probably into February too as well. And then Marathon Patent Group, we've talked about them on this channel before. They're a mining company, but they're also putting some of their cash reserves into Bitcoin too as well. So yeah, a lot of these institutional investors, but also stock market commodities are also being, starting to move some of their money into Bitcoin. According to Matt Maley, chief market strategist, a meaningful break below 31,000 on a closing basis would spell technical trouble for the token. The last time Bitcoin ended in trading session below this level was January 1st. Additionally, the coin dipped below its 50-day moving average before bouncing back. A close below Bitcoin's 50-day moving average of 29,000 would certainly qualify as a meaning lower low. Thus, it would confirm to change its trend. The drop occurs as speculative focuses appears to be shifting towards stock markets like GameStop, AMC Holdings, and frenzied retail buying has spilled over into the options market. Some industry participants point this as a positive for cryptocurrency, which they long labeled as anti-established. According to Skybridge Capital Anthony, the move is an affirmation of financial decentralization, which has long been the guiding force behind Bitcoin. Skybridge has around 385 million overall Bitcoin exposure. Yeah, and we saw GameStop take off too as well. Maybe we'll take a look at GameStop today, just for the heck of it, and go over those charts. I did take a look at GameStop, and honestly, it still looked relatively good. I know a lot of people are talking about maybe not FOMOing into it, but at the same time, for the price that it's at, it's a little high for my taste and price. But we can take a look at it just for the kicks. Co-founder manager of Nexio said, fundamentally, nothing has changed, but he added that the rally was overextended and pullback is natural. The long-term prospects remain very bright. Short-term, we might continue to see fluctuations. That is to be expected, he said. It'll be interesting to see whether we establish ourselves below 30,000. If that's the case, we're going to revisit 25,000 and then 20,000. As long as we are above 20,000, we are still in a bullish market. And I totally agree on that. What also we're going to be taking a look at, jumping on over into the charts, is our 20-day moving average or weekly average. 21-day weekly average is definitely going to be a key indicator as long as we stay above that. So we'll take a look and see where that's at. Let's go over into the charts, folks, and jump on over there. Taking a look at Bitcoin here on the 4-hour time frame. So we have a few different trend lines drawn out for us now. We are still seeing our major resistance trend line up above head. Bitcoin sitting right at about $30,600. But we're seeing this major trend line above head on us on our candlestick patterns. And then we have another trend line that has been created down over here. We're seeing a few support trend lines for us as well. One that could lead us into a downwards facing channel. The other one kind of forming somewhat of a symmetrical triangle. But I'm definitely thinking we're going to probably bounce around here for a little while. And this will probably this symmetrical triangle will probably end up breaking one direction or the other right at around the beginning of February. So going on into February 1st, we'll probably see a break in one direction or the other. But more than likely still staying in somewhat of this downward sloping channel here. So we'll have to kind of see how that wants to play out. But I think for the most part, we're going to get something like boom, boom here. and then maybe a break up and then possibly back down. Something of this nature could occur. We'll just have to wait to see how this kind of wants to play out inside of this channel here. So let's see what we got here. But if we take a look at some of our higher time frames on Market Cipher B, and by the way, folks, if y'all are interested in picking up Market Cipher, CryptoFace is back on YouTube, so that's good to know. If y'all want to check out CryptoFace's channel, y'all can. I have links in the description box below to pick up his indicator, but that is our bread and butter on this channel. That's our main go-to indicator. We also use the TI sequential by tone Bayes and the market guide buy and sell signal. So we're using a few paid for indicators on this channel, but yeah, if y'all are interested in helping support the channel, check out the links in the description box below, or just leave me a thumbs up button, and I highly appreciate that. Taking a look at our higher time frames, the 5 hour, the 6 hour, we're still seeing a little bit of money flow loss here on the 6 hour time frame. We never quite got that bullish move to stair step us back up. So we didn't get the next trigger wave to stair step us back up. We got another big sell off, and definitely looking like even here on the 8 hour or 6 hour time frame, that we're more than likely going to be seeing a further move to the downside. We did break a support trend line on the 6 hour here. As you can see, our purple trend line has been broken to the downside. So now this could mean a relatively bearish move for us, but we are finding support as of right now on this bottom trend line. If we are to break below that, we're going to be looking for prices probably right at around $27,000. But Bitcoin's still looking like, you know, it probably wants to continue to move a little bit further down. I have no interest in shorting this right now. What I'm obviously doing is just buying the effing dip, which I encourage you to do. But folks, we have a bunch of different altcoins that we're getting into right now, and one of them has just been crazily outperforming everything else inside of the cryptocurrency space. If you think you know what altcoin that is, I want you to leave a comment down below. But it has been absolutely amazing, and it's a DeFi project too as well. So I'll let y'all speculate on that, but obviously my Patreon members know exactly what coin that is, and it has been doing relatively well. It's been doing way better than any of the other alts and any thing that's Bitcoin related to as well. But I do believe that the regulatory uncertainty obviously has something to do with why we've been seeing a nice little sell-off here in Bitcoin too as well. And based on that DeFi project, it's probably going to continue to rise just because of the regulatory uncertainty that's going on in the market right now. So let's take a look at our 2-day, because what we're really curious about is our 2-day holding support above our 21 EMA. It definitely looks like we're probably about to break below our 0 pivot point down here on Market Cipher B. If we are to break below our 0 pivot point on our momentum wave, we'll have to see how this wants to recover. But as of right now, Bitcoin, let's see how much it's actually retraced all the way down to. We've had a retracement all the way up to 30%. Usually we see about 35% retracements in our bull market runs. In our last previous bull market, we've had all the way up to a 35 to 36% retracement. And that would put us all the way back down at about $26,000 or so if we are to see a little bit more retracement. So definitely looking for support at, oh, I'm not zoomed out here. But yeah, if we take our retracement and see how much we've had, it's right about 30%. Usually Bitcoin wants to retrace all the way down to maybe about 35% or so during its bull market rallies like we've seen in 2017. And if we already get a 35% retracement or so, we're looking right at about $26,000 for a 35% retracement. But so what we want to do is we want to see Bitcoin hold the 27,000 area. But if we are to break below that, it's not going to look too pretty. You can see we've been holding support on one of our logarithmic scales here. So this is our extended logarithmic Bitcoin growth curve. And we've been holding nice support above it too as well. Let's take a look at our weekly chart, because our weekly chart is also going to give us a nice, you know, idea of where the bull market will continue to go if we come back down to retest those areas. Our 21 EMA on our weekly chart is sitting right at about $21,000. You know, $26,000 is going to be pretty hard to get back up above if we break below that. But I would say the bull market door closes if we go below $22,000 or so. So if we are to break below $22,000, then I would say the bull market is definitely going to be over. But as of right now, it definitely still looks like we still have potential to stay above that 21 weekly moving average. And if we are to see our 35% retracement back to the downside, like we've seen back in 2017, that would lead us all the way down to about $27,000. And what we are going to want to do is hold support above those levels. All right, folks, so let's take a look at our dominance chart next. We want to take a look at the dominance. The dominance has just completely been falling off here. Our 2-day is starting to see a nice little bounce here. On our 2-day chart, we could be getting a green dot relatively soon, and maybe making another move back to the upside. VWAP looks like it's ready to continue to move back to the upside too as well. Looking at the daily here, we are getting a big green dot down here on Cipher B. So our Cipher B daily green dot is definitely going to probably hold support for us down here as well. We've been in this downward sloping channel, and now we're just going to have to wait to see if we can recover out of this. But things are definitely looking a little bleak right now for the Bitcoin dominance chart as well too. But I do want to kind of clean up some of these trend lines here just for us a little bit. And we're kind of waiting to see if we can make a bounce back up to about the 65% level or so. But see, this is where I'm kind of curious to see if Bitcoin is wanting to recover here. That's what we'll probably start to see more consolidation out to the side, because I think we're gonna have to wait till the dominance chart starts to make its way back up to expect any more bigger moves for Bitcoin. I think as of right now, as the dominance continues to settle and maybe making a sideways move, Bitcoin's going to be doing the same thing until we start to see this dominance want to move back to the upside. Then we'll start to see that same move with Bitcoin too as well. So you just got to remain patient right now. It does look like the market is just taking a nice big breather, and before it continues to take off. And what price targets we're looking at for the bull market to continue as well too. So let's go over to Ethereum, see what's happening with Ethereum and some of our altcoins as well, and then we'll take a look at GameStop just for the heck of it, because that's obviously been a big part of the news too as well. Ethereum still making higher lows here, so Ethereum still looking relatively good. And as the Bitcoin dominance continues to sell off too as well, the fact that we are still putting in some higher lows here, this does look relatively bullish for Ethereum as well. But I do want to remain cautious just because Ethereum has been performing better than Bitcoin, but at the same time, if we start to see that recovery in Bitcoin dominance, then we're going to also see a sell-off in Ethereum. Ethereum still holding support above the 21 EMA, but we've had some really deadly wicks here on our daily chart, just finding a lot of resistance above, right underneath the all-time high, right at about $1,400 or so. Been having a lot of resistance there, but we'll have to wait to see if we're going to come up and retest some of these extra fib levels that we have drawn out on our charts. We just want to see probably a daily candle close above the all-time high, and we haven't had that daily candle close above the all-time high just yet. But if we are to make our way back up above the all-time high at $1,400 or so, we're going to want to see that. But it does look like we are kind of making a stair-step pattern down here on our daily chart too as well. Looking at Cipher B, we have been putting in lower highs on our momentum wave, which could definitely lead us a little bit further to the downside as well too. And our 2-day doesn't look like it's wanting to recover just yet. So we'll have to keep a close eye on this. I would say that if our dominance chart on Bitcoin starts to continue to move sideways and maybe looking for a recovery, then we'll probably start to see Ethereum maybe trickle off to the side for a little bit. This is the Ethereum dominance chart too as well. And I just kind of wanted to take a look at some of these higher time frames. Ethereum dominance still looks like it has some room to run to the upside. Looking at the 4-day and the 5-day chart, the dominance is still looking like it wants to move further up for us as well too. So yeah, definitely looking for maybe Ethereum to probably continue for a little bit longer than expected, and probably longer than Bitcoin to continue to run up to the top side. But yeah, we're going to take a look at GameStop, folks. So GME is GameStop. GameStop Corporation has been just seeing a crazy run up, sitting at $300 right now, all the way back from where we were at. Let's see, let's go to the daily chart. The daily chart had us at $16-17, and then we just made this massive move after Elon Musk had posted GameStop. And wow, it's crazy to see that how, you know, some of these market movers and you know, these celebrities and millionaires and billionaires really have an effect over the market too as well, just based on their clout on social media, right? I mean, it's freaking insane. So I think this was obviously because a lot of people were obviously shorting this market too as well. And, you know, having these massive candles like this obviously take out the short sellers as well. But what I'm really looking at is these higher time frames, such as the 7-day and the weekly chart. It still looks like even on our 2-week chart, we have potential to move into this green money flow here for GameStop. And this is just going to continue to probably keep going, folks. You know, I know a lot of people probably are going to be naysayers about this, but I think GameStop still got a lot of potential based on our 2-week and our monthly. If you have the money to get into GameStop and you want to throw some money into it, obviously I'm more of a crypto person, but obviously some stocks are going to be still performing too as well. And it definitely looks like Elon Musk had a big say over this as well. Looking at the 2-week chart, we just broken above one of our green trend lines here on our 2-week chart, which is a big indication that we are probably going to be making a nice move here if we are to just take a 1-point extension here all the way from the top to the bottom of where this trend line was breaking at. I mean, we've already basically tested it and shot past our target price too as well. So it's looking relatively good for us. But folks, we're going to go ahead and end it here, kind of dragging on here. Don't forget to join us in our Patreon page if you're interested in seeing what altcoins we're getting into, our DeFi projects that have outperformed the market. You know, just about as much as the GameStop has outperformed all the markets too as well. You can take a look at some of those if you're interested. And yeah, with that being said, I will see y'all on the next one. And if y'all have any questions, message me. I'll see y'all then. CTO signing out. Peace.